Hey, what's up guys? Chief Pat here, and today bringing you guys the third sneak peek for the new update coming out inside of Clash Royale. Now today they announced there's going to be a total of 6 new cards inside of the update, and they showed us 3 of them in the sneak peek. I'm going to go ahead and go through all 3 of them and then get into a couple of friendly battles showing them off to you guys. Now starting off, we have the Fire Spirits. The Fire Spirits are going to be a common that costs 2 elixir, and pretty much what they are, as you can see by the description, they're sort of like kamikazes. You drop them on the ground, and 3 of them will appear and they'll jump into a unit either on the air or on the ground and deal a decent amount of damage. So let's say someone has a minion horde up, they're really good against the minion horde, they can take those out no problem, really good against goblins, barbarians, stuff like that. And Fire Spirits are a great counter to some of those AoE and a huge clump of troops. So definitely a fun card, and we'll definitely check more about those guys in a second. Now second up is the Furnace. Now the Furnace is actually another spawner. Don't freak out, it's not going to spawn P.E.K.K.A.s or anything crazy like that. The Furnace is actually going to spawn the Fire Spirits, and it's going to spawn 2 of them at a time. So what's neat about that is by spawning 2 at a time, if you have 2 Fire Spirits run down the lane, one of them will have like a sliver of HP left if you're going against someone who's an even level to you, so it is able to get a little bit of damage off against the tower. But again, another spawner building, and we'll show more of that in just a moment. Now finally are the guards. Now the guards are an epic troop. As you can see, they have a little bit of a skeleton portrait, and they actually have there's 3 skeletons and they all have shields. So similar to the Dark Prince, you guys know how the Dark Prince has his shield, where you knock his shield off and then you really take out his hit points. These guys have the same exact thing. So if you throw arrows at these guards, it's only going to take off their shield. If you throw a fireball at these guys, it's only going to take off their shield. They have a pretty decent amount of shield, and then their hit points really isn't that much. So a really good card for dealing with things like the P.E.K.K.A., dealing with things like the Prince, seeing as they have to crack through the initial shield and then end up taking them out. So enough with the descriptions, let's go ahead and hop into a couple of friendly battles using these new cards. We're going to be facing off against Sleepy, and as you can see, I'm starting with a couple of Fire Spirits. I've got the Skeleton Warriors in my hand. I don't think they're strong as far as being the first card that you would play, so I'm going to go ahead and plop a Furnace down after our Baby Dragon, and let's go ahead and check out that Furnace in action against the P.E.K.K.A. Now, of course, they are going to jump into the P.E.K.K.A., so it's going to actually not really stop the P.E.K.K.A. in its tracks. As you can see, they're going to hop into them. I think the Spirits and the Furnace are better against you know, those really sort of weak units, you know, skeletons, barbarians, archers, things that are sort of spread out. And as you can see, take a look at those skeleton warriors. Even though they don't have that much HP, they do have that shield that I talked about earlier, making it so the P.E.K.K.A. has to take 2 swings at a time, and they end up being a pretty effective counter overall. So we've already played all 3 of the new cards. We got the Baby Dragon helping out against the Minion Horde. I didn't run arrows in this deck, and he's using the Minion Horde as well as the Princess, so that's likely going to be a little bit of a problem. But anyways, let's drop the Furnace again in the very center, bringing up another spawner, and this time it's going to go to the right-hand lane. Now, we did get a little bit of damage using the Furnace on the right-hand side as well as the Baby Dragon, and let's go ahead and drop our guards in a second. We want to make sure that the Princess doesn't target our guards right here, but take a look. The P.E.K.K.A. has to take 2 hits on each guard just because they do have that shield in front of them, so pretty effective stuff. But unfortunately, the P.E.K.K.A. is going to get to the tower and start swinging away like crazy. I was hoping the Valkyrie would turn around. He's actually going to get 3 hits off as my Valkyrie attacks that tower instead. So I'm already down to 550 HP. You can see the confetti flying. A couple of people are actually watching, or I guess it's one person who's being a bandwagon fan and choosing confetti on the side of the person that's winning. Let's go ahead and start with our barbarians, and thinking about what we can drop, I could have actually dropped my Fire Spirits here to counter that Minion Horde. I end up going with the Baby Dragon instead. And yeah, things look okay. We still have our knight or our barbarians on the right hand side. We're gonna drop our prince as well as our Fire Spirits, seeing as the baby or the princess is a little bit distracted. And let's go ahead and freeze this tower right here. Alright, so it looks like the prince at least locked onto the tower. He's going to get a little bit more damage off, actually be able to finish that one off for us. So luckily we had the prince right there. And getting ready for another Furnace. I'm actually going to drop our Valkyrie instead. I know that left-hand tower is pretty much as good as dead. I can't distract that princess in time. So he's actually going to end up dropping another princess. But by the time I kill it, tower is going to go down, and now we have to deal with this P.E.K.K.A. Now, of course, this P.E.K.K.A. here does have to two-shot the Barbarians before the Fireball goes down. I'm going to end up dropping my Furnace right as that P.E.K.K.A. drops. Going to go ahead and drop our Skeleton Warriors and freeze the Minion Horde. Again, the Minion Horde is such a good counter to me right now, just because I don't have arrows inside of my deck, as well as the Princess. But luckily, you can see our little Fire Spirits from the Furnace are going to end up taking that Horde. Let's go and drop the Prince to help out our Valkyrie and make a push down the left-hand lane. So going into overtime, we've got 3 minutes of overtime for this friendly battle. We might need them. He's going to drop his arrow. Little Fire Spirits are going to be making their way down the lane. Let's go and drop another Furnace and watch as these Goblins get absolutely evaporated. And look, there goes the Furnace attacking the Minion Horde, doing a really decent job of taking out that 5 Elixir card. Alright, so P.E.K.K.A. is making its way through. I feel like we're starting to get a decent Elixir advantage. Let's go and drop our Barbarians. We've got our Warriors going down as well. Looks like our Prince can be dropped right in the alley right here. And as we make our way through, we've got our Spirits. Spirits should be able to jump right into those Goblins right there. Free Spell is going to go down. Absolutely terrible Free Spell. Let me drop the Oops right there. Still getting used to the new cards. Not that the Free Spell is a new card. Okay, anyways, Princess is going to make her way down the lane. Princess is actually an amazing counter to the Spirits, because look at these arrows. They're going to take out all 4 at once. So just waiting for them to get a little bit closer, then we can use our Baby Dragon to take them out. And let's go and drop our guards to help out against this P.E.K.K.A. Alright, so looks like things are okay. He's actually going to try to Fireball my Skeleton Warriors, or not my Skeleton Warriors, my guards. Keep in mind that they have that shield, so a Fireball will not kill them in one shot unless their shield's been taken off. Valkyrie's going to start making moves on the left. Prince is going to go down as well. Let's go ahead and go for another push and keep slowly chipping away on the tower. He hasn't really had a chance to take us out as far as like damage to our King Tower goes. And as our little Spirits are attacking and taking out that Minion Horde, we're actually going to get some damage off against this tower and bring it down to 139 HP. So only a little bit more damage to take it out. I don't have any direct damage cards though, so it will require another push to that tower, and definitely not guaranteed inside of any battle. Okay, so Baby Dragon's down. Looks like the Spirits are trying to take out that P.E.K.K.A. Notice how my Princess is locked on and actually ends up getting some damage off against my Warriors, which I really don't want her to do. That would probably be his best combination, but looks like my Barbarians are doing work. We're starting to dominate in the left-hand side, and now with a gigantic push, that's going to wrap up the game and end up taking out that tower. So you can see how effective the Furnace was during that battle. We were able to stomp out the Minion Horde, and we were able to stomp out a lot of his smaller stuff using that. Both the Furnace and the Fire Spirits did a great job, and then for the Skeleton Warriors, they did a fantastic job of taking out that P.E.K.K.A. and making the P.E.K.K.A. take 6 hits to even just take out a single batch of Skeleton Warriors. Okay, so starting up again, looks like we're going to be facing Sleepy one more time. We get the Valkyrie and Dragon pushing down the lane. Let's go and drop some minions as well. And as soon as he has that Princess, I'm going to drop a freeze as soon as I can to try to get to the tower, but really not going to be able to do too much. He's actually going to end up shooting down my Princess, or no, my Valkyrie with that Fireball, and getting ready for our arrows, seeing if we should drop those or anything else. He's going to drop his Dark Prince, and we actually don't have a very good counter. We have to drop our Skeleton Warriors. Those are just going to get evaporated. Let's drop our Fire Spirits right on top of the Dark Prince, arrows on top of the Princess, as well as some of those Fire Spirits from the Furnace, and so far this one isn't starting off too well. Sort of like the last match when we took all of those shots from the P.E.K.K.A. This one isn't doing too great. And speaking of the P.E.K.K.A., there's a P.E.K.K.A. from the very back, and by him playing that, you have to realize that he definitely does have a pretty big Elixir advantage on me. So let's go ahead and set up with our Furnace. We're going to drop that in the very center. I don't have very many cards that I can drop on the ground to counter the P.E.K.K.A. I need a cycle to my Skeleton Warriors in order to have a shot. Looks like my Furnace is going to take out that Skeleton Warrior, that group of guards right there. I keep calling them Skeleton Warriors, but let's go ahead and drop the guards one more time, drop our Fire Spirits to help out against that Princess, and then now we have at least a small push going down the lane. I really don't think it's actually going to do too much, and he fireballs it, which is actually a pretty good thing for us, and now we might be sort of even on Elixir. So notice the Furnace. The Fire Spirits will run down the lane, and at least one of them will get some damage off against the tower if you and your opponent are even level, which is really nice. He's going to go ahead and play his own Furnace in the very center, and let's go ahead and counter that with, guess what, our own Furnace, and now we have a little Furnace on Furnace gameplay. showing off some of these new cards in the update. Okay, so Valkyrie's walking down the lane, and Valkyrie should be decent. Unfortunately, that P.E.K.K.A is actually going to cut her in half now, and looking at our arrows, let's try to drop those as soon as possible, take out that princess and a couple of those spirits right there. Bomber is going to go down, which is going to be pretty annoying to deal with. Our baby dragon should be able to help out just a bit. Minions will help out as well, and we've got a ton of air troops going crazy right now. And take a look at how I played my Valkyrie and my skeleton warriors. I used my Valkyrie to distract the Dark Prince. I used my skeleton warriors to distract the P.E.K.K.A. That was actually a pretty nice play, and I'm going to go ahead and freeze both the furnace as well as the tower. I'm going to drop my arrows onto that princess, and take a look as the dual baby dragons are just going insane. And we actually might have been able to take out that tower if that bomber wasn't alive to take out our spirits. So it looks like we've got 2 more spirits left that are going for that group. Let's play our Valkyrie. Should be able to at least stop the damage for just a moment. Skeleton warriors will help out against this princess. And with 416 HP left on that tower, just have to find our way to get that damage. And let's go and prepare for another push. So Baby Dragon, obviously the only card we can really play right now. Fire Spirits aren't very good when you're trying to use them as the initial card. Looks like he's going to play his Spirits, and our minion actually survives through that, which is really nice. Let's play our arrows on the Princess, a couple more Fire Spirits to try to lock onto the tower, and as they make their way there, Baby Dragon's going to end up taking it down to 52 HP. And now we just have to go back to our arrows, and this game will be all but wrapped up. So good games to Sleepy. It was really fun showing off these new cards. Definitely pretty interesting stuff. Of course, I was just testing them out in some sort of weird deck. I feel like they definitely do have their strengths. Skeleton Warrior, really good for stopping things like the P.E.K.K.A and the Prince. You've got the Fire Spirits, really good for taking out clumps of troops. Furnace, obviously spawning those Fire Spirits, sort of getting the same thing done. But yeah, that pretty much is it for the first 3 cards coming out in this update. Now, there are 3 more legendaries on the way. You guys have to make sure to check those out. I'm going to be posting those later on my channel in the next sneak peek. So subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.